Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Kelly, and I'm one of the educators here with Bywater Solutions. And I'm so happy you're here to join us to learn all about the new enhancements with the Koha upgrade coming in April. There's a double enhancement. We have both 16.05 and 16.11 enhancements to show you today. We're very excited about a lot of them. I did want to let you know that there are plenty of other webinars scheduled in the next few weeks. If you go to our Bywater website, you can actually see that here in the Koha News. We had a couple What's New webinars, which were 2-hour webinars, just to give you a big overview of what's coming up. But being more specific in each module, we have different webinars scheduled over the next few weeks. So today we are having an OPAC Public User Services upgrade. We also have a few more scheduled, so if you have more staff that you would like to see to attend, then there's plenty of time, so you could just register on any of these links. We have them at various times of the day, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and even 6 o'clock on Eastern Standard Time. We also will do a circulation and patrons upgrade webinar. So once again, various times coming up in the next few weeks. Please feel free to register yourself and some staff members to see what's coming up. We then will do some technical services upgrade webinars for the cataloging folks. Once again, a variety of times, just giving you a real good insight on what's coming down the pike. Then we'll go into our administration tools and reports upgrade webinars. We have great enhancements coming in all these modules, and we're happy to show them to you. Then something new we're doing some town hall sessions. So about the second week of April, we're going to do 4 town hall sessions and specific to your type of library. So we're going to have a public library town hall sessions. I'm from public library, so I'll be one of the moderators for that. We also have an academic and school upgrade town hall session, and one of our other educators, Karen, whose background is in academics, will be doing that one. We also have a consortium update. So for people that are within a consortium and have questions in regards to the new enhancements and how that affects you and how you can make it work for your consortium, we'll have that also. And then the last but not least, we have our special libraries. And Jessie, one of the other educators whose background is in law libraries, will be doing that town hall. So once again, we have a variety of times and sessions that we hope that a lot of people can come to and really get to know what's coming up. Now, sometime this week, Melissa and Larry have gotten together and figured out when libraries will be upgrading their computers, upgrading their softwares, excuse me, and you'll be finding out soon when your upgrade will happen for your library. At the end of every week on Friday, we will be putting the recordings on our website as well. So if you cannot make some of these sessions, but you still wanted to watch, then feel free. On Fridays, we will put some videos up there from what's happened during the week. So let's get into the good stuff. I'm going to pop over to the OPAC. And the first thing I hope you notice is our new design. Michael, one of our Bywater design staff members, has designed a new OPAC per some libraries that really wanted some bigger fonts and clearer definition of boxes. He's gone ahead and created a new OPAC design. So if this is something that you're interested in, please feel free to submit a ticket. And Michael will be able to get to that. It's about a 2 to 3 week turnaround time. But if this is something you're interested in, it's a lot cleaner. It definitely pops in areas that wasn't before. So we hope you like it as much as we do. So once again, that would just be submitting a ticket and asking for the new OPAC design. Great. Now I'm going to log out. One of the first enhancements I want to show you is this new link that says right where you're going to log into your account, it says forgot your password. Now this is really handy for patrons because we have so many passwords that we need to remember that if a patron did forget their password on the OPAC, that you can go ahead and click this link. Now this is a system preference that you will need to turn on if this is something that your library would like to do. So for you to have this link, I'll show you how to go over into the staff client and adjust your system preferences. So here we are in the staff client, and we're going to go to administration and our system preferences. This system preference is called OPAC Reset. And right here you can see that under the OPAC preferences, so that would be over here, the OPAC preferences, one of the system preferences is called OPAC Reset Password. So once again, you can turn this on or turn it off for your library users to be able to recover their password via email in the OPAC. If you do allow for your libraries to recover their password via the OPAC, then you would need to go into the notices and slips section under tools and create a notice. There's a notice set for password reset. I'll show you where that is. So I have it as allowed. I'll go over to my tools and under notices and slips, here it is under password reset, online password reset. So we can go ahead and see what that looks like. And this is the email that your patrons will get if they do decide to recover their email, forgot their password link. And so once again, this is all editable. If you wanted to change how the language is said, you can feel free to do that here in the notices and slips under password reset. This link is a 2-day link that they are allowed to use. And they also need to activate this forgot your password link. They do need to use the email that they set up at the library with you. So if they went ahead and clicked this link, then they would come in here and do their login, which would be, sometimes it's your library card number, or it's a first name, last name, it's whatever your library is set up, and then the email they registered at the library. So once again, you would change your notice, make sure your notice and slip is what you would like for it to be read as. You would need to change the system preference to allow your users to recover their email. And then your patrons have this ability. And so once again, once you put your login in your email and you hit submit, it will get you a notice via your email, and they can reset their password that way. Do we have any questions about that enhancement?
George has a question. This is the OPAC password change set to allow. Will this setting require that?
You would go in and turn that on. A lot of these system preferences that we're talking about today, you would go ahead and turn that on for your library. Great question. I forgot to introduce, I have Adam here as one of the Bywater staff members. He's going to be monitoring your questions for me, okay? So welcome, Adam. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks.
And I did want to mention that there is a lot of new videos on these enhancements on our YouTube channel as well as on our Bywater website. If we go over to our Bywater YouTube channel, you can see that there are, this is one of our What's New webinar schedules, but you can also see here's making the last patron to return an item visible. There's a whole bunch they have just been added for these enhancements. So check those videos out. So if you can't make one of these webinars with your staff, but you definitely want to have your staff members know what's going on, then these YouTube videos are great. They range from anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, so very easy. So, okay. Another big enhancement that we have is I'm going to go ahead and log into my account. is the ability to pay fees and fines from the OPAC via PayPal. So this is big, this is huge. So if your patron does have fines on their account, then it gives you the opportunity to pay your fines via the OPAC. So if I go here to my fines and charges, I can see that I do have some charges. And right down here, my payment method is now, I can use PayPal. Now your patron does need to have a PayPal account, and you need to set one up for the library. So we'll go through that process. Your patron has the ability to pick and choose which charges they wanted to pay, or both. These can be accruing charges or flat fines. So we can go ahead and do that. And then you would just click payment. It's as easy as that for your patrons. So I'm going to show you how to set that up in your library system preferences. Once again, this is something you will need to turn on, as well as get some information from your PayPal account. I'm going to go over to our administration. And in the system preferences, you can just type in PayPal. There are 5 system preferences that you need to fill in for this to work. The first one is will allow patrons to make payments from the OPAC via PayPal or not allow. So once again, it's a great question. Most of these enhancements are not set up before you actually have to allow these system preferences to be set up, just because there's a couple steps that you need to do. For instance, with PayPal, we're going to hit allow, and then it does ask us if we wanted to allow patrons to make payments from the OPAC via PayPal in sandbox mode or production mode. Sandbox mode would be just in testing, if you wanted to test it out before you actually went live with that. The next system preference is a PayPal charge description. So this is a free text that you can go ahead and fill out whatever you'd like your patrons to see on their PayPal account as their charge. So right now we have it set up as a Koha fee payment. You could do your library's name if you prefer. The next 3 system preferences are information you're going to get straight from PayPal. So you're going to have the password to your PayPal account, a signature. Once again, this information is from them, and the email to receive PayPal payments. There is a great YouTube video also on our Bywater YouTube channel that has Kyle Hall, one of our lead coders, who does a great video on how to set this up step by step. Okay, do we have any questions about PayPal? It's such a great enhancement.
Nothing yet.
Okay, great, good. I can tell you're excited though, I really can. I know the excitement is really there.
Oh, hey, this is Jessie. We did have one question come in asking about the Sandbox account. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to that in the chat box. So if other people are interested in the Sandbox information, it'll be there.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessie. You snuck in.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Another great enhancement that we have added to Koha is the, go over to the staff client. Is we now have steps to set up relative checkouts in Koha. So now we have a system preference to allow patrons to set checkouts visible to a guarantor and guarantee. Those are really hard words for me to say. So through the OPAC, you can allow for the guarantee can allow for their guarantor to see their checkouts or not see their checkouts. So we'll go ahead and I'll show you that I have on the staff side a guarantor and a guarantee set up already in the system. So on the staff side, we've always been able to see this relative checkouts. And so if I go over here, that I can see that my guarantee has this item checked out. There's their name. If I go over to the OPAC and I go to my account, I have the relative checkout tab here. Now this is a system preference that you can set up, so I'll go over there and show you. And this is an allow patron. This allows patrons to choose their own privacy settings for showing the patron's checkout to the patron's guarantor. So this allows your patrons to choose their own privacy settings. If I log in, so this is set to allow, and then I also have allow staff. I guess I should have had them both up. Might be easier. And this is allow staff to set checkout visibility for guarantor. So I'll show you how the staff, since I have this as allow, how that works, and then we'll go over to the OPAC side. So both my preferences are set to allow, so I am allowing the staff as well as the patron to choose their privacy. Oh. Sorry, I was in the guarantee or. I need to be in the guarantee. So right here, there's show checkouts to guarantor. So as the guarantee, the staff can allow this to be turned off, and then the guarantee will not, their checkouts will not be shown to their guarantor. So that is a yes or no. As well as on the OPAC side, I'll show you. I'm going to log into the guarantee's account. I think I typed that in right. And under privacy on their account setting, this is new. Allow your guarantor to view your current checkouts. And it does tell me who my guarantor is. And that can be changed for your guarantee. So there's just a few system preferences that you would allow to have this happen, to also first to allow the patrons to set the checkouts visitable, to allow this to be there, as well as allow staff to set checkouts, which would be on the staff side. Do we have any questions about this new relative checkout in OPAC?
No questions.
Great, great. Okay.
Wait.
Yep.
Is there also a privacy system preference to allow patrons to set privacy?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is. If your library allows, and this is a system preference, under where we were back in privacy, this first privacy rule is for the patrons to choose their own privacy. So there's 3 different options that they have. Is they can keep their privacy forever. Their options keep their reading history forever without any limits. It would they could choose default, which is keeping your reading history according to the local laws. It's usually when the libraries choose to dump it out would be your default. And you never want your history to be saved. This is a system preference that your library you as the library would choose if you allow your staff to patrons to have this. Excuse me.
Kelly, we have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an example with multiple relatives?
Oh, let me see. I'll create another child. Great question. Oh, I have to set up my make it nice and easy so we can log in. Okay, so under Jack's account, I can see right now that Charlotte, my sibling, also has something, as well as my mother. Does that answer your question?
Yes, she said thanks.
Okay, good.
And also to jump in, for those of you who are curious about the guarantors, there's also a bug that's still in QA that will make it possible to add multiple guarantors to a record. Right now, you can only attach it to one. That bug is still in QA, and that is bug 14570. I'll put that in the chat if any of you are interested.
Great. Thanks, Jesse. A lot of people have asked for that.
Another question is, can the child see what the parent has checked out?
If it's set to allow, then yes. So I'm actually in Jack, a guarantee, and I can see that my guarantor has The End by Lemony Snicket. Let's see if we're on the OPAC side. Yes, we allow your guarantor. And I had turned it off. So let's log out of here and let's log in for Jack. So I can't see what my guarantor has checked out, but I don't know if I changed that when I was showing it. So as the guarantor, I can see relative checkouts. But as the guarantee, I don't think so, actually. On the staff side, you can. Nope, not that I can see.
Okay, Kelly, your volume went down. Can you?
Oh, sorry. Am I muted? No. Okay.
No, we can hear you. It's just...
Okay. I went a little quiet.
We have a couple more questions on this.
Sure.
Does OPAC privacy need to be set to allow in order for patrons to also set the guarantor checkouts? And then if OPAC privacy is off, then patrons can't set their own guarantor guarantee settings, correct?
Yeah, the preference requires that you allow patrons to see their own privacy with the OPAC privacy preference in order for this to work.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, one more question.
Of course.
Can you set the privacy setting to never save a patron's reading history and still use the new keep last borrower feature?
Yes, you can. Yep, the last borrower, and we'll talk about this more in the circulation webinar, but yes, the last borrower is, if your patrons have set to never, it would still show that the last borrower on the staff side.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now I'm going to show you there's a new enhancement, the ability to place multiple item holds on a given record for a patron. So for all those DVD series or multi-volume sets that a patron wants more than one item on that record, this enhancement allows that to be possible, which is huge for all those Downton Abbey fans that wanted disc 1 and disc 3 or anything like that. So I'm going to show you there's a couple system preferences that you need to set up to allow your patrons to be able to do that. So if we go over into our staff client, there is in our circulation and fine rules, which is under administration, under circulation and fine rules, there is a new column way over to the side here. And that new column is holds per record count. So you can see that you can, once again, just like the circulation and fine rules works, you can pick the patron category and the item type and allow that to be. So this top one is for patron category alumni, and that's a DVD. And you can go way over here and you can show that that alumni for DVDs can actually get 3 holds per record. If you wanted to edit any of these rows, then you would just go to this action and hit edit. So if I wanted to edit the next one down, it's going to highlight that, and then it's going to allow me to change it here. And I would go ahead and save that. So this is a new column in your circ and fine rules. And once again, circ and fine rules are based on your patron category and item type. So you may have to do a few of these if you have multiple patron categories, or if you have multiple item types that this would apply to, or you would allow your patrons to do that on. Okay, so let's go over to our staff side and I'll show you how you would do that. Okay, if I click a result that has multiple items, so this shows that there are 7 items available. And I can go ahead and place a hold. Okay, I'm gonna show you what it looks like first. If your patron goes over here to confirm the hold, under this, it says show more options. And at this point, I can choose one of the items types. These red X's, these are on hold, but I could pick something else. Now, if I wanted to do three of these items, I would go ahead and do that 3 times. I can't actually go and pick 3 of those items in the one go. I would need to do them separately. I think I have 3 now, but so of course I think my limit is 3, but there are 3 of the same items on the same record, 3 separate items on the same record that I have on hold for. But I did want to show you when you do go in and place a hold, there is kind of new lingo for your patrons. Prior to this enhancement, it was as if your patron was placing a hold twice. They would place a hold on an item and then it would say place a hold again. Now there is the first place a hold and then you go into confirm hold. So it just clarifies what your patron is going through. So I'll show you that because that's a nice new enhancement. There was a lot of confusion that they were having to click that twice in essence. If I go ahead and place a hold, and then it just goes to confirm hold instead of, it used to say place a hold again. And I think that was a confusing. So with these new enhancements, there's a lot of new action buttons or just different kind of wording that's been created given what the patron sees as well as what the librarian sees. Do we have any questions on putting multiple item holds on a given record?
We just had one pop up. Does the patron need to reinitiate the search? She missed that.
Let's go back. I believe if you just go ahead and click the title again. So now I can't because I've limited it, but you would go back and just click the title of what you don't have to reinitiate the search.
Okay. When the item is returned and one hold is filled, are the other two holds still in effect?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then one more question. Will this require that item level holds are allowed too?
Would this require if item level holds? No. If this Abbott and Costello DVD package was still checked out from somebody, I could go ahead and place a hold on multiple items. If you choose not to do on-shelf holds, then that wouldn't be allowed. However, if it was checked out, I could pick multiple items on that record. I think I'm answering the question.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Once again, there is another video on our YouTube Bywater channel that shows you how to do this if you wanted to go back and look at those circ and fine rules and just make sure that you're doing it correctly. Okay, our next big enhancement is that now patrons can make article requests via the OPAC. So if there was if they wanted to ask for a specific article in a journal that you had photocopied, they could do that now if you want to turn that system preference on the staff side. So I'll show you how to do that. It's very exciting for maybe the academic libraries where researchers may request a specific item or those consumer reports that they just want to buy, a certain car section or the tire section. So we're going to go over to our staff side. And go to our system preferences. There are a few different system preferences that you need to double check that everything's good. First one is article request. If you want to turn that on, you would go to enable or don't enable your patrons to place article requests. The next three are what mandatory fields would you like to be seen for your patrons to fill out? So how much information are you looking for from your patrons so you can gather that information from that certain journal for them? So you would go ahead, and this first one is article request mandatory fields. So this would be which fields did you want to have mandatory on those article requests? Now, if there are a few that you can ask for article requests on items or records or both. So this first one, article request mandatory fields, would be for both. The next one, article request mandatory fields item only. And that is what if you wanted only item requests for articles and what fields you wanted mandatory on those, as well as the next one, article request mandatory fields for the record only. And then that would give you which fields you wanted mandatory on there. Once you've determined your these system preferences, then we would go over to the circ and find rules. And there is a new column. There is a new column for article requests as well. So just like for the holds per record, then we're going to go and look at our patron category. We're going to pick our item type and which we are going to allow for article requests. So here is the column, and this is just a yes or no. Yes or no, you can. If you pick yes, then you're allowing both records and item article requests, or you can just say, I only want the record only article request or the item only record request. Yes is a yes to both. Okay, so now we go over to the OPAC side and see how your patrons will view this article request process. So I will search the Consumer Reports periodical. And we'll pick the Consumer Report car ratings and pricing. Everyone likes to look at new cars and how they're rated. And so now over here on the side, there is a request article link. This is the full description of the Consumer Reports. I should have shown you that it was still available in the brief description as well. Sorry about that. There it is right here next to your placehold. So you could click this request article from this brief description of Consumer Reports, or you can go to the full description of the Consumer Reports. So here's where those mandatory fields play out. It will highlight it will make the mandatory fields in red. These are the areas that your patrons must fill out. So I think I'm going to look for, I want a cars for winter cars. It snowed again last night here, so I'd like a tough winter car, and that's probably in the December issue, and it was pages 24 to 25. And this is a free form text that if you had any notes that you wanted, the patron wanted to let the librarian know, they could have a free form text here in the notes section. So I have a few article requests now on my patron account, but you can see that my newest request is right here. I placed it on today's date, and it gives you the information. If I put any information in my notes section, that would show up right here. At this point, I can cancel any of my article requests as a patron over here on the cancel side.
Kelly, quick question.
Yes.
You're logged in as Kelly. If someone is not logged in, does article requests still show up, or do you have to be logged in?
You would have to be logged in just like a hold.
Okay, one more question. Can you indicate article fees anywhere?
So if you were going to charge somebody the fine?
I believe so.
Let's see. Well, I guess you could, if you were to advertise, I don't know if there is any at this point. If you were to advertise this service to your patrons, you could always maybe put something in the note in the section, the front section of your Koha. Maybe make a little quote here or something like, we now allow article requests, and if there's a charge for that, maybe you could put that there. There is, under your patrons account on the staff side, you could invoice them using one of those charge lines if you wanted to. But I don't know if there's any way to put that in to the article request section. Jesse, do you know?
Yeah, right now there isn't a place to enter any type of article fees, anywhere in there. Now, if this was something that you wanted to maybe put on the screen or put in the OPAC somewhere when the user logs in, we could probably add that information for you. That way they would be aware of it, maybe put it on the OPAC or something. Mm-hmm. But at this time, there's no correlation between article fees in the system yet. And going back to the article request, think of it very similar to the way the holds work. The user would still be able to see article requests if they were not logged into the OPAC. However, if they clicked on article request, it would prompt them to log into the system just like it would if they were placing a hold and they weren't logged in.
So I'm not logged in, and it will say this. So once I click here, it will prompt me to log in.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, great questions. Thank you, guys. So as for the staff side, once your patron makes an article request, just like any suggestions, if your library accepts purchase suggestions or allows tags, those are gonna be down at the bottom of the main screen of your staff client. So I can see that there are article requests here, and that is clickable. So I can see that the patron has requested from the Consumer Reports Cars periodical which article they've requested, the date they did that. From here, this action button says I can process this. I can hit that I'm going to process this request. I can complete this request. I can cancel this request if the patron calls me and says that they no longer need the article, or I could print the slip. We'll go into our notices and slips and show you how you can set up the wording on these. But if I go ahead and print this, maybe make it bigger for you. You can print this out, and so give it to a staff member that could go get this information. This is a great print view. So I can go ahead and I can hit process. And once I'm hitting process, the patron could see, instead of it being a pending request, it's now a processing request on the OPAC side. In our notices and slips, under tools, there are new notices for these article requests. So there's an article request email for a canceled article, a completed article, an open article, processing article, or print. So if we go ahead and look at what the completed email article request would look like, we can go ahead and see that here. And once again, this is customizable for you if you wanted to include more information or less information on that email that goes to your patron that the article request has been completed. So these are new notices that will be set up for you to allow for these article requests to go through and get emails. Okay, any questions?
Nope, nothing right now.
Great. A couple more great new features. We have, go back to the staff side. Just a few little new enhancements that have been added is serial enumeration is now added to the items. So you can see that if there is information in subfield H in your items, that now you can see it So here it is, The End by Lemony Snicket, and now I can see number 13 as a patron, as well as you can see that on the staff side. So that's a new enhancement. It might seem small, but it's something that a lot of people will appreciate when there's these series that are 25 volumes long, to know what the person has checked out versus it just saying The End and not knowing what number that is in the series. So that's a really good feature. Another feature that we have is, we all know that we have lists, and the librarians can make public lists. Now, part of the OPAC search is if a patron was searching for an item, that you can tell that it's part of a list from that search. So if I went ahead and typed in, and I was looking for this book by Jeffrey Archer.
Kelly, a quick question on the serial enumeration.
Yeah.
Does that have a corresponding preference?
No. Mm-mm. Nope. So what if you use your subfield H in your item records, that will show up, and I can show you that. So here in serial enumeration chronology, if this information is entered in for any of your series, then it will show up now. So you can see it. You can see it here, but then the patron can also see it, as well as, I believe that this is the big one where you can see it here in the patron checkouts, as well as on the OPAC.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So if you were looking for this for A Prisoner of Birth by Jeffrey Archer, in this brief record result, you can see right here, this is one of the lists that the librarian has created. So as a patron, I can see this, if you like Stuart Woods, ... If I click that, I can actually see this list that was created, if you like Stuart Woods. So you can tell now if a book that you're searching or in the advanced search or wherever, you can see if it's connected to a list that's been created by your library. You can see it here in the brief result, as well as you can see it in the main result right here. And it is a clickable link. Okay. Now, another new enhancement is that this allows patrons to select an item type when placing a hold. So if there is multiple items on a record and you want a specific item, you are now allowed to pick which item you choose as the patron. So if I'm going to search up this Carl Sagan book, there's multiple items. And I can see that there are 3 items. 2 item types are a book, and then this one is a book discussion. So if I went ahead and I placed a hold, I could say see more options, and I could click here, next specific item. A specific item, and I can go ahead and pick the book discussion versus the different books. So maybe one was a paperback or a hardcover. They can pick the specific item type when doing it. Another great feature is I'm just a calendar nerd. So as a patron, when you're looking at your checkouts, down here, under here, there's a new link that says download as iCal, an ICS file. So if you go ahead and download that, it will go onto your calendar that the book, The End, is due on the 3rd of April. It will automatically go on there. I think that's like awesome. So you could, this is totally new, and you can click that, it will download it, and it will add it to your computer calendar. Okay, do we have any questions? I want to give some time for questions. There are so many enhancements. I've definitely hit some big ones. Oh, wait, hold on wait, Adam, don't have any more questions. 1 second. I did want to show you one more enhancement. This is under course reserves. So if your library does do course reserves, we've added a author column as well as a link column for your patrons on the course reserves. So if I came over here and wanted to see what was in the course reserves for English Lit, I can now see the author of the book, as well if there's a link in the item record. These are 2 new enhancements. Okay, now you can, if there's any questions, we have about 8 minutes left, so I would love for any questions or comments or concerns.
No questions yet.
Okay, I'm sure everyone's like just thrilled with all these great new enhancements. We're so glad that you came today to see this. There are multiple other times that this same webinar will be held. And once again, on Friday, these videos will be uploaded onto our Bywater website so you can watch it maybe from your home. If you wanted to register for any other webinars, feel free to do that. We have a circulation and patron one tomorrow morning, same time. Adam and I will be here, and then we'll move into technical services and administration and tools.